Hi, I'm Cheryl Jones, and I'm the World Languages Department Chair at Framingham High School. I put this video together to talk to you about course selection for your 8th grade student for next year when they begin 9th grade at Framingham High School. Before I begin talking about the sequence of courses, I just wanted to point out that for graduation, from Framingham High School, students are required to take 2 years of the same language. So if your student wants to continue with what they've begun studying at the middle school, those options are available. We also have some options if students want to add language, but that to fulfill the actual graduation requirement, it has to be 2 years of the same language. So that's important to keep in mind when you're choosing courses. If your student had 3 years of French, Spanish, or Mandarin in the middle school and successfully completed the program, the options for them next year are to take one of those languages at the honors or at the ACP level. And you can see I have in this table here, what grade 9 looks like, and then going forward, what grade 10, 11, and 12 would look like. The difference between the honors and the ACP levels, both challenging, rigorous courses, both challenging, rigorous levels. The curriculum is very similar. They study the same topics, the same grammar, the same vocabulary. The honors level goes at a bit of a faster pace and goes a little bit more in depth. So depending on sort of what your student is taking course-wise in other areas, if you want to balance out the schedule, it's definitely an individual decision, whether you choose honors or ACP. How your student feels about the language, what their plans are for all 4 years. You can see going forward, grade 10, same options. Then you go into the 3 honors or the 3 ACP. Grade 11, 4 honors, 4 ACP, and then grade 12. If your student really wants, really loves language and is excelling at it and really wants to take it at like a college level, they have the opportunity to take it at the AP level for French, Spanish, or Mandarin. If your student doesn't want that rigorous of a course for the grade 12 selection, they're also absolutely able to take it at the honors or the ACP level. But just keeping in mind sort of as you choose this course for grade 9, where your student hopes to go with their study of this language. As I said before, for graduation from Framingham High School, it's 2 years. So once your student completed, say, for example, French 2 honors, French 3 honors, they're okay requirement-wise to graduate from Framingham High School. However, most school counselors will tell you that colleges and universities do like to see 3 years of the same world language on a transcript. So I would keep that in mind, depending upon what your students' postgraduate plans are, but that's something to consider. AP, that course culminates with an exam in the spring, and depending upon how the student does on the exam, there is always potential to get credit for college based on your score. But again, that depends upon the university or college or university your student attends. So that's what placement would look like, the sequence of courses and the options for your student who's completed 3 years of Spanish, French, or Mandarin at the middle school. If your student is looking to begin a different language or to add to their study of world language. Some kids really excel at language and want to take more than one language, and we definitely encourage it and think it's fantastic, obviously. But so the options, if you want to start a language, say they didn't have a good experience with Spanish, or say they want to switch it up and take French instead, or they want to try Mandarin. The options are they could do one ACP, French or Spanish or Mandarin, and they could also do Mandarin at the honors level if they wanted to start at the high school. We also offer American Sign Language. So if they're looking to start something new, those would be the options, right? And then so what you should understand about the French 1 ACP and the Spanish 1 ACP is that it's essentially the 3-year middle school program in 1 year, right? So it's a very accelerated course. It's the 3-year program over the course of 1 year. And so students completing the 1 ACP would then, as 10th graders, go into the 2 ACP. So that's just something to keep in mind. If your student had, didn't complete the middle school program successfully, didn't do well in it, was unable to even take it, we also offer something called French or Spanish CP, right, at the CP level, which is still college prep. And that program is the middle school program over 2 years. So that is a program intended for students who maybe didn't meet a lot of success with their world language in the middle school, or weren't able to take it, or didn't do well in it for whatever reason. A student who struggled with language in the middle school can meet success in our experience with this CP experience that we've put together for them. So again, the one ACP is the 3-year middle school program in 1 year. And the 2-year sequence of CP is the 3-year middle school program over 2 years. If a student completes the CP program, again, they've fulfilled their requirement for Framingham High School. However, there are options for them to still take language, a 3rd year, and if not a fourth going forward. I just want to point out one piece of information about American Sign Language. So this is our 2nd year of American Sign Language at Framingham High School. The first year we only offered 1 section. This year we've offered 2 sections. Our hope is to grow the program. It can be challenging for 9th grade students to get American Sign Language because we do give priority to students who are in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. We want everybody to have the opportunity to take it if they can. And so if your student really wants to take ASL but doesn't get it in 9th grade, there'll be the opportunity for them to get it 10th, 11th, and 12th. That doesn't mean don't sign up for it. Definitely sign up for it. And when we see how many course requests we get for the course, and we will be running hopefully 2 sections, and then from there we can sort of determine if a 9th grade student can be placed in it. There are 9th grade students in the ASL classes this year, so there is a chance, but I just want to put it out there that it's not 100% guarantee that you would get ASL if you signed up for it as a 9th grader. So those are basically the options for your student for next year. I'll just go back to my first slide where I put here my email address, right? So if you are still struggling with this decision, if you're still unclear, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out and send me an email, and I'm happy to start a conversation where we can sort of determine what would be the best option for your student based on their circumstances. We certainly, having students placed appropriately is in the best interest of all, and certainly I'm happy to enter into any kind of dialogue to talk about that. So please feel free to email me with any questions. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to meeting your students when they come to Framingham High School next year. And thanks so much for taking the time to watch this.